When working with a Solidworks Weldment model, you can use tangent arc within a layout sketch to specify either welded elbows or bent tubing. For these warehouse steps, I'll use bent tubing to create the pieces of the frame. I will also take advantage of the symmetry of this model to create the structural member for one side of the frame and the mirror the bodies to create the other side of the part. In the frame for the warehouse steps, I have set up two layout sketches. One is representing the right side of the frame and the other representing the member at the back. I'll create the solid geometry for the frame by adding structural member features to the layout. Throughout this lesson, I will be accessing the weldment commands from the weldment toolbar of the command manager. These tools can also be found in the drop-down menus under Insert, Weldments. I'll choose the NC inch standard. Choose pipe for the type of structural member and 1 inch schedule 40 for the size. The next step is to plan out two structural member groups I will be creating. The order groups are created determines the initial trimming order between the pieces. In this case, I want all members to be trimming to the outside contour of the right side. So this will be the first step. I can the selection boxes in the graphic area as well as left mouse click to choose the sketch entities and include the group. It's my intention to have this piece of the frame produced as one continuous bent pipe. So in the settings for this group, I'll select the checkbox to merge arc segment bodies. The setting is only available if there is tangent arcs that have been. If I were to leave this option to create, then each separate sketch entity would result in a separate solid body. I'll create the pipe across the bottom of the right side next. I'll click the new group button in the property manager and choose a line segment from the layout. I can see from the previous this pipe is being trimmed by the first group that was created. If for the some reason I ever needed to change the plan, I can use the magenta buttons to modify which group is trimmed first at the location. In the corner treatment dialog, I can change group 1 to 2 trimming second in the trim order and group 2 to be trimmed first. And the preview update indicates the vertical pipe is now being trimmed around the horizontal piece. I will modify the corner again to set the trim order back to the defaults. There is another bent piece of pipe the right side of the frame as well. I will create another group by clicking the new group button and I will select the sketch segment in the graphic area. Once again, I will make sure the option to merge all segment bodies is checked in order to create the group selection as one continuous pipe. The next group will contain the vertical brace for the pipe. I'll create the new group button and pick the find from the layout sketch. The structural member for the back of the frame will be created after the left side. Since I want to use the side pieces to trim the pipe at the back, so at this point I am ready to click the green check to complete the first structural member feature. The frame has been designated symmetrical around the right reference plane, so the create to opposite side of the part. I'll mirror bodies across the right plane. From the feature toolbar, I'll choose a mirror feature. In the mirror property manager, I will activate the heading the mirror planes and choose the structural member bodies from the part. Clicking the green check will complete the command. Now I can create the structural member at the back of the frame. I'll launch the structural member command from the weldment toolbar and will use the same pipe size. Since the sketch lines for these members are parallel to each other, they can be created within the same group. I'll choose the both lines from the graphic area and I click the green check to finish the command. Add additional trim feature is required to trim pieces at the back. I'll use the trim extend command from the weldment toolbar and select the two bodies from the part. I'll clear the allow section checkbox since I will not be extending these pieces at all. I'll use bodies for the trimming boundary and will select the structural member from the side of the frame that the back pieces need to fit between. I'll also clear the checkpost to allow extension of the trimming boundaries. Once I complete the trim feature, I will hide the sketches in the model to better see the finished result. I can see from the cut list folder there are 10 solid bodies within the part. I will update the cut list from the right click menu, the group the bodies to cut list items. To access the cut list item properties, I will right click on the one of the folders and select properties from the menu. Because cut list item data are generated from the structural member feature automatically calculate the lengths of the members. I can easily use the properties of the bend pipe to see the center line length of each of the different pieces.